Hi, I'm going to show you the steps to setting up a progress monitoring group in the FastBridge Learning System. To begin, once you're logged in, you would click on the Progress Monitoring tab. I'm currently logged in as a specialist, so it's going to bring up all of the progress monitoring groups for the buildings that I have access to. If you are a classroom teacher, you'll only see here the progress monitoring groups that you are assigned to. Going to, off to the left-hand side, click on the New PM group and select my school. That's going to bring up a table of students. The top table is going to show the students that I've selected to be in my progress monitoring group. The table below is going to show the students that are available to be in my progress monitoring group. I can sort them by assessment. I can also search for a student to find them quickly. To add them to my progress monitoring group, I simply click their name, and then their line of data will come up to my progress monitoring group. So I'll select a couple. So I have 4 students here that I'm going to put in my progress monitoring group. At this point, I can either create a new group or I can add them to my group. So if they're new students, I could add them to one of my current progress monitoring groups. I'm going to select a new group. Most of the information on this page is going to be filled in for you already, and you'll just need to check it for accuracy. So you'll have your starting week. Leave it to default to this school year. That'll calculate the weeks in the school year so that it can create the progress monitoring graph. We're going to select reading as the assessment type, and we're going to select CBMR English for this particular grade level. It defaults to progress monitoring once per week. We'll leave that there. And it defaults to having an adjusted goal line, which is what's recommended, so we'll leave that as well. Below, I can see the students that are in this progress monitoring group. I can see what their screening score was. And anywhere that there is a dashed line underneath, I can adjust the score. So if I know that that is not an accurate start score, I can adjust it if I need to. I know I'm going to progress monitor all these students on the 3rd grade level. It'll default to their current grade level. This is a training account, so most of the time the numbers are not going to make sense in here. You can adjust the goal if you need to, if you want it to be a more ambitious goal. Or you can adjust their end goal here in order to meet the benchmark. Okay. Then the last piece would be to add an intervention. From here you can add the intervention name. Enter whether it's a reading or a math intervention. Here you're going to have a pop-up of all the available interventions. We've narrowed this list down. Currently this list shows everything that's possibly available. We'll just click that for now. And then there will be a drop-down for who the interventionist is to select and who's going to be doing the progress monitoring. That may or may not be the same person. The follow-up is just going to give you a reminder. When you do that 4th week of progress monitoring, it'll add a reminder there that you wanted to review their intervention data, and then add their time for about how long are they in that intervention. And then you can click create, and it'll apply that intervention to all of the students in the group. The last thing that you need to do then is save the assessment group. And when it comes time to actually progress monitor a student, again, once you log in, click on Progress Monitoring. The assessment group that you just created and saved will appear in your list here. You would select the group that you want to progress monitor, and then click on the timer underneath the appropriate week for your progress monitoring. If you're a specialist and you have multiple groups and you just want a faster way to find who you want to progress monitor, you can search for a student here. So I know that in this group is my student, and then I can progress monitor that student from here. Clicking on the drop-down arrow gives you just a little bit more information about the group. There's 3 students in the group. Here are the students. If I want to edit that group, this warning here means that the students are not scheduled for progress monitoring during that until September 10th. If I want to edit this group, I just click on Edit Group. It pulls up that same progress monitoring group page, and then here again I can edit anywhere where there's the dashed line underneath. So if I need to adjust their start score or their goal, I can do both of those things here. I can also change the name of the group. The group can be deleted as long as no data has been collected for the group yet. Once data has been collected, we'll no longer be able to delete the group. If you make any changes, just make sure to save the changes at the bottom. If you want to add a student to a group, you click on the Progress Monitoring tab, click on New PM Group, select your school if you have more than one, select your student. If you selected the wrong student, just click their name to take them back down. Instead of clicking New PM Group, select Add to Group and click the group that you wish to add them to. This warning here tells me that Adriana already is in Progress Monitoring Group 7. So I can either release that student from that Progress Monitoring Group, or I can Progress Monitor Adriana on a different level so that she's not being Progress Monitored twice a week using the Grade 3 CBM passage. Alright, I found a different student here who's not already in another Progress Monitoring Group. So again here the page looks the same as when I set up the group originally, just has the new student to be added. I can adjust anything that needs to be adjusted, can add the intervention for the student, and then click Add Students to the group. And now I'd be able to find that student in that new PM group. Oops. So we'll go back to our Progress Monitoring groups, and there's Shane there. If I want to remove a student from a group, select the box in front of their name, select Release Students. It'll ask if you're sure, click OK, and the student is then removed from the group and available to be put in a different Progress Monitoring group. If you have any questions, more information about setting up Progress Monitoring groups and editing Progress Monitoring groups can be found by going to the knowledge base and searching for Progress Monitoring.